Yo, what is going on, guys? Your boy Russ back again, and today we actually have a 100K wager match against another Madden YouTuber, Mayzomatic. For those of you that don't know, we did actually end up playing yesterday in a random head-to-head season game. We ended up messaging each other after that game. We decided to go ahead and do a collab and do a wager match. We did decide to do it in draft champs because even playing fields, random playbooks, I'm sure that makes sense to pretty much everybody. And we actually ended up doing a double or nothing to this game on his channel, so be sure to go check that out. So we got game 1 on my channel, game 2 on his. So this was the first one played. You guys can see I'm showing you my draft, some of the highlights of the draft, and I feel like the best players that were drafted on the team I'm showing you right now. Our team ended up being an 86 overall, and our big pick was the 96 Odell Beckham Jr. We got a hell of a receiving core with Andre Johnson, Odell, and Julio, and we also have Phillip Rivers as our quarterback. And you guys know I'm not really a mobile, or I'm not really a pocket passer type player. So, I decided to pick him because pretty much all the quarterbacks I got were pocket passers. Some were, of course, more mobile than others. But I've used Steve McNair, and he was garbage for me in MUT, so I didn't want to pick him. And I figured I've never used Phillip Rivers, but he's got really good accuracy, so I was kind of excited to try him. Mayzomatic also actually got Odell Beckham Jr., and he also has Adrian Peterson as well as Marquise Lee. So he's got a really, really good team on him. A couple of really good wide receivers, of course, a very good running back in Adrian Peterson. We actually didn't draft a running back, and I can tell you why. Because when the running backs came up, there were other players that I wanted, and I really felt like I drafted my team to my liking. You guys will see right here, maybe it wasn't such a bad decision to actually just leave C.J. Anderson, as somehow he makes that catch on a linebacker. It looks like Von Miller. That's probably why. It's because Von Miller obviously is not a very good coverage linebacker, so C.J. Anderson was able to make that catch. Again, don't know how, because C.J. Anderson is not really a real receiving threat, but, that was a pretty good play by him. C.J. Anderson, man, beast. That's all I can say. Really good in draft champs. But anyway, I did end up drafting this team, and when I did, I was very happy with that. I felt like we got everything that we needed. We got a good quarterback that can throw the ball very effectively. We got a decent playbook. We did get the Seattle Seahawks playbook, which I know a lot of people like. 4-3 defense. I'm actually somewhat familiar with their offensive side of the playbook, but we actually have to settle for a field goal coming out of this game. So unfortunately, that kind of sucks. Our first opening drive of the game, we have to go and take a field goal. But you know what? It's a lead. I will take it. We got to hold on to it. But again, that's easier said than done. But I feel like our draft, we filled it out very well with a couple of really good corners and a couple of really good safeties. Really good safeties, actually, with Roman Harper and HaHa Clinton-Dix. We got Deshaun Shedd and Jimmy Ward as our corners. So a couple of hard-hitting corners that can play the run pretty damn well and also play the pass really well. Mayzomatic seems like he's way more pass-heavy than run-heavy. Kind of like me. I'm more like to pass than run. I just don't have a very good run scheme. And I think he got his playbook, or at least a playbook that he knew, because he was running the plays that he did yesterday, playing, in MUT. So I feel like he got his playbook of choice, or he got one that was very similar and had his scheme in it. So I really feel like that I had my playbook, not my, my straight up playbook, because my playbook actually has a couple of my money plays. This one did not. The Seahawks, unfortunately, didn't have a couple of my money plays that I run. But right here, C.J. Anderson, you don't need money plays when a 79 gold is somehow doing that. But that's insane. C.J. Anderson does end up going into the end zone to put us up 10-0. But I did know enough about the Seahawks playbook to be able to move the ball pretty effectively. And, there was a lot of good formations in that playbook. A lot of good run plays. A lot better than, I think, the Cardinals one that I'm using. I've been using the Cardinals for a while in MUT. So, when I got the Seahawks one, it was actually one of the more, or one of the playbooks that I knew, more than any other. Because I actually don't use a ton of playbooks. I don't play draft champs that often. So I don't really get the chance to try out playbooks as often as I would like. And I don't usually change them up in MUT. But the Seahawks I have used, because it seems like every time that you pick your favorite team going into MUT, they give you that team's playbook. So again, I was familiar with this playbook. So anyway, him being on offense now, he was pretty tough to stop. But HaHa Clinton-Dix, dude, our secondary is playing well all day. Our secondary and our D-line, I really feel like we drafted our team well, got everything we needed, and I am extremely excited when I drafted this team, like I said before. But right here, Jesse James, a kind of mid-round pick for our tight end spot, ends up making a really nice play by, throwing a defender off of him, but then ends up fumbling, and now he can possibly make it a one-score game before half. So that sucks, because Jesse James, when I picked him, I was expecting him to kind of be just a role player, have somebody that can do what I need him to do if I decide to throw to him, and unfortunately he fumbles. So, I was a little bit hesitating going back to him after that. But right here, 1st and 10, he ends up throwing it, I think, a high point pass to, I think that's Levine Toilolo, and he pays for it by throwing a pick to Bud Dupree. Like I said, we did draft a very good secondary, so that definitely helped us right there, being able to break that one up. But that was kind of sketchy I don't think he drafted any tight ends. I think I saw 2 base gold tight ends. But this guy's not a base gold. Fucking OBJ goes up against the safety and completely just shits on him and ends up taking it to the house. So the fumble that could have completely screwed us for this game actually ends up putting us in better position to score, as we do end up going up 17. I almost said 27-0. 17-0 before half. And now he's trying to run the ball a little bit, trying to get, some huge plays, try to get at least into field goal range. But with 2 seconds left, he ends up chucking it up and actually ends up being incomplete. Tried to swerve it at the end, but luckily it was broken up. We had a ton of people there anyway, but I know a lot of people like to do that when, it's a Hail Mary at the end of the half or the end of the game. They try to swerve, and I've actually seen that be successful a couple of times. Not personally against me, but on some streams that I've watched and some YouTube videos. Some people have really had some shit go against them, especially on the last play of the game. I personally have lost on a last-second Hail Mary, and it sucks bad. So I'm glad that he wasn't able to get that. Again, it was just a lone receiver on the right side of the field with like probably 5 or 6 defenders. But anyway, coming out of half, he did not start off very well on offense. Obviously, he did have a ball bounce off his receiver's hands. I really think even if he tried to catch it, probably would have been dropped because they did have, I think, 2 people there pretty much ready to hit him. But 4th and 23 decides to punt. Actually ends up hitting OBJ on a fair catch. So we do end up getting a couple extra yards on the penalty. So now we're pretty much in field goal range at this point, 2nd and 4 at the 40. That's pretty much the I would say the max distance you can go for a draft champ's kicker, and pretty much the max straight up in mutt, unless you have like the best kicker in the game. Not really sure who that is, or sure who that is, but I'm not sure how far they can actually kick. If you can do like 45 and have like a fucking 60-yard field goal and shit like that, I doubt it. But for draft chance kickers, usually the 40-yard line, about 56 yards is the most that you can go if you have the wind, of course, going towards you. And I'm pretty sure I did. So 5 for 18 for Alex Smith. I forgot to mention that he does have Alex Smith at quarterback, which is a little bit, unfortunate for him because Alex Smith, he has some speed, but he's not really good in one category. He's not, great in accuracy, great in throw power, or in throw deep or speed. So he's kind of even everywhere, which you kind of need that one it factor on a quarterback, whether they be really fast or they be really accurate, whereas Alex Smith is pretty much kind of even across the board, which you could like or you might not, because he could either do everything kind of average and pretty well, or they can do one thing super great and be kind of poor in any other category. But right here, Clinton Dix comes up with his 2nd interception of the game, and at this point I was feeling very confident, up 20-0. I don't really see why anybody wouldn't be confident with this score at this time in the game. We're trying to go deep right here. I noticed that he was starting to play the run, I think, a little bit more, so I was trying to take some more shots, but he was doing very well at stopping a lot of my plays. So, 9 for 15 for Phillip Rivers for 140 yards. Done pretty well, very efficient so far in this game right here. Julio Jones does end up making a 4th and 1 situation. Instead of 4th and long, as CJ Anderson does end up getting the first down. So that is a huge play right there. 9 rushes for 42 yards for CJ Anderson. If we didn't get that, we could have been in hot water. But right now, after that catch, Julio Jones puts us into the red zone, and we are in the driver's seat 100% right now. Now we can basically get a field goal and, make it so he has to get himself, he has to get himself a touchdown either way if he scores 2 touchdowns and, if he makes a comeback of any kind. Now he's got to score 3. So, of course, we still have this game completely in our hands. Probably should have just went for it right here because, he still would have had to score 3 touchdowns at that point because it was 20-0. But I decided to just go ahead and take the field goal to make it 23-0. So, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. So 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Of course, we pretty much have this game in the bag at this point. The only way he's going to be able to come back is some fluke-ass shit, meaning like probably a deep bomb and then an onside kick, and then who knows after that, which could possibly happen right here. He does actually end up burning me over top for the first time in this game. I really haven't gotten burnt in this game at all. But 9 for 26 for Alex Smith has not had a very good day. But right now, he could try to get his team on the board to at least avoid getting shut out. And right here, does get tackled in bounds. He actually ends up hurrying up. But with 1:10 left, he ends up throwing it right at me. Wow, I fucked up. Wow, dude. I fucked up my own catchphrase. I can't do that. Just throw it at me, man. Why the fuck not? Wow, that's embarrassing. But anyway, we do actually end up getting the interception. That puts the game on ice as we do end up running it a couple more times. We CJ. Wow, why can't I talk, dude? I get through this entire commentary pretty clean. Obviously, some just regular stutters. And then I fuck up the end. Whatever. I did hope you guys enjoyed this video. Whatever. We end up winning. I'll take 100K coming my way. So I did hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be sure to go check out Mayzomatic's channel for Game 2, the double or nothing. So again, I did hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know if you guys want to see more wager matches. I don't know. I kind of have the itch to do more of them. So let me know if you guys want me to do more wager matches. So anyway, did hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, Dangerous Army, I'm out.
like a Hellcat.